All right, folks, welcome back. Sorry, we have a lot of people here tonight, which is great. But as you know, everyone has a cell phone and whatnot, and so a couple of times tonight I've lost connection, and with YouTube Live, it doesn't really reconnect, and so had to start a new stream. What you have missed, I'm going to double check with Gary. Ashton Francis led off with a single, moved to second on a wild pitch. Mark Peterson struck out. And it's 3-0 to AJ Inestugu, and he looks at strike one. Of course, usually I do radio and dependent on phone lines, but here for these games on YouTube, it's I'm internet needy. And we've had good success for the last couple of years here, but a little bit of an issue tonight. So here we are on part 3. So if you go back to watch, you're going to have to the first link. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 2. The first link I made tonight almost immediately went offline, and I couldn't change it. So then part 2 was innings 1 through 6. Part 3 will be hopefully innings 7 through 9. And again, just FYI, if all of a sudden you see that you lose your connection and I'll try to chat something on there, but just go back to my YouTube page and hopefully very shortly I'll have something posted. Nice job by Inestugu to stay alive on that pitch. 3-2, 1 away. It's Oklahoma City 7, El Dorado 4 as we're in the top of the 7th inning. Mark Solomon immediately letting me know that the video is up. Actually, my picture is as good now as it's been in 2 nights. Matt Bowes still on the hill for El Dorado, and the 3-2 hit out to short. Took a hop off the mound over to Little Jim, throws to first, and retires Inestugu. Moving over to third is Ashton Francis. Addison Ruckman. I watched part 1 and part 2. Part 1, again, really there isn't much there. I don't think any of the game was on part 1. Here's Jake Vernon. His mom's watching out in Elkhart, Indiana. I appreciate the email. I got a roster sent in from Barb Vernon, so that helps. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The 0-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. The 0-2 is tapped foul by Vernon. Joseph Chin. Every classic needs a trilogy. Yeah. Well said, Joseph. No balls and 2 strikes here to Jake Vernon. Vernon 0 for 2 tonight. He was hit by a pitch. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. A nice inning by Bowes after a leadoff single and a wild pitch. Able to get out of it. Time to stretch in El Dorado. The Indians 7, the Broncos 4. Nice recognition. Instead of the 7th inning stretch, we spent the half inning recognizing those who have brought us our freedoms here at El Dorado's McDonald's Stadium, and also those that have lost loved ones. Reminding us all that our freedom is hardly free. El Dorado trailing 7-4, and Jordan Anstandig trying to bunt for a hit, fouls it off. No balls and 1 strike. Salverda misses there, 1-1. OKC scored 3 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fifth. El Dorado scored 4 in the fifth. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 7-4. OKC dominating in the hit number, 11-3. And in the turf, 3-1 to Anstandig. So a good hitter's count here for Jordan Anstandig, and he looks upstairs at ball 4. Anstandig has walked back-to-back times. And that'll bring up Caleb Littlejim, and Bobby Shore is going to trot out to the pitcher's mound. Well, the 4th of July, got a day off from my day job, so I spent the afternoon. I watched the hot dog eating contest today from Coney Island. I don't know how Joey Chestnut in 10 minutes downed 74 hot dogs, bun and all. It was bunderful for sure. That's Gary right there with the pun. He's rather punny here tonight. That's good. My wife was watching it. She had to turn. She couldn't watch. She was grossed out by watching him dip the buns in water and snarf those things down. And it was funny. ESPN. Now they've got people in front of the eaters counting. They've got pretty girls behind the guys counting. Somehow they missed the plate. So on the broadcast, you thought he had like 62, and then it turned out, no, he actually ate 74. I don't know how. And then, we'll get back to the game here. Little Jim looked at ball 1 ball and no strikes, and it's 2-0. And all of the contestants, they're like, well, he's the champion pizza eater, and this one eats the most gyros, and this in the turf, Little Jim ahead 3-0. I'm wondering, where are these other contests going on? Three balls, no strikes. The pitch right down the middle for strike 1. One contestant, they said he's the rookie of the year in the eating contest. Is there such a thing? Is there a league of eaters? 3 balls, 1 strike to Little Jim. And Caleb bounces this one foul. Joey Chestnut, when they ran down his list of accomplishments, is how the guy isn't 800 pounds, I have no idea. He was the champion eater of about 25 different foods. The 3-2, Little Jim hits it to short and off the glove of right. Probably, do you think? Looking at Gary, our official stats guy, he had to go to his backhand. It went off his glove. Gary's going to think. We know that Little Jim's at first, either via the air or via an infield hit. Maddox Solomon, the tying run, steps to the plate, and he whistles one out of play down the right side. Solomon, the leading home run guy for El Dorado. the leading RBI guy for El Dorado. I'll tell you what, if he gets into one, this crowd will go crazy. The 0-1 out of the zone, 1-1. I appreciate the T-shirt I got from the Solomons. Mark is still watching at home, but going to be an error. So Little Jim reaches on an error. I was leaning that way myself. Here's the 1-1 in the turf, 2-1. 2 balls and a strike, a 7-4 Oklahoma City lead, but El Dorado's got the first 2 on here in the 7th. Defense playing straight away. And the 2-1, and Solomon lost his bat. Fortunately, it didn't threaten anyone, and that was a pretty good bat throw right there. Maddox, he's got a smile on his face. I wish I had a camera I could zoom in and you could see Maddox's smile right now. I don't think this had anything to do with it, but just before that pitch, I looked out in left field and some fireworks. There was a big kind of a white flash out in left field. I don't know if that would result in losing your bat like that, but Maddox will tighten the screws there and he'll step back in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bobby Shore pacing in the Oklahoma City dugout. Salverda with a long look in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he'll step off. And Standig walked. He's at second. Little Jim reached on an error. He's at first. And again stepping off, and we'll have a meeting of the minds of the battery there, Vernon and Salverda. I say it many times, some of these guys come from different schools or whatnot, and sometimes you just, even teammates that play together all college season long and that are together all year long, sometimes get their signals crossed. You can imagine those new relationships. I know the Indians have been together for a while, but still. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And a fastball just off the corner, 3-2. So a big pitch in this game here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Maddox Solomon with 6 knocks on the season. And the pitch. And Solomon had a good cut, fouled it into the netting. So the drama builds. We were looking for some drama last night, but the Derby Twins weren't having any of it. In the 9th inning, their reliever came in, had 3 straight strikeouts to end the game. No drama. A little bit here. The 3-2. High and over the catcher's head. Vernon hustles after it, but it's a walk, and the bases are loaded for El Dorado. And I don't know the pitcher Salverda, but it looked like maybe some nerves on that pitch. And Bobby Shore will walk out. We'll have a new pitcher. I believe it'll be Harrison Moy. Bases loaded, no out, 7-4, Oklahoma City. So the new pitcher for Oklahoma City is Harrison Moy from Hawaii Pacific University. And he comes in a real mess here. Bases loaded, no outs, and in the heart of the Bronco lineup, the number 3 batter, Tanner Sheets. He's 0 for 2 tonight, but he has an RBI sacrifice his last time up. Tanner Sheets has 3 long balls on the season. Boy, this would really make the crowd explode here if he could get into one. Curveball stays upstairs, 1-0. Corners are in for Oklahoma City. The middle infield plays at double play depth. Here's the 1-0. And drifting outside, 2-0. So 2-0 count here to Tanner Sheets. The pitch, and Sheets held up, and it's 3-0. And Vernon will go and talk again. That was close, but Tanner had a good look at it. Now does Toby Reuter get frisky here and give him a green light on 3-0? Brady Sargent waiting on deck. Sheets, a .326 hitter coming into play tonight. He's driven in 19. He and Brady Sargent tied for second for the RBI lead on the Bronco squad, behind Maddox Solomon. 3 balls and no strikes from Moy. And the pitch, and swinging, and Tanner might have swung at ball 4. 3 balls and a strike. Moy with a look into Vernon. He's got his sign. Here's the 3-1. And that one's in there for strike 2. So a good job by Moy to battle back. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 7th. 7-4 Oklahoma City. And a 3-2 pitch is on the corner for strike 3. So a huge strikeout for Moy. And here comes the Sarge. Brady Sargent leading the team in average with a .377 batting average. But he's 0 for 3 tonight. Law of averages says he's due. Still 7-4. And this pitch outside. Vernon, a nice block. Scampering back to third as Anstandig. That was a great play by Vernon. Moy battled back from a 3-0 count. Tanner Sheets. That's a 3rd strikeout tonight for Tanner. Certainly a pitcher's pitch. Here's the 1-0 to Brady. And he fouled it off. 1-1. El Dorado without a hit here in the 7th inning. The bases are loaded. 2 walks and an error. And the 1-1 drifts outside, 2-1. These teams played last year on the 4th of July here in El Dorado. Broncos won that game. 2 balls and a strike. John Sorensen waits on deck. The 2-1 low, 3-1. So Moy again in a bit of a hole here on the hill. A 3-1 pitch to Brady Sargent. And Sargent got under this one a mile high on the infield. It'll be an infield fly. And the shortstop right catches it. Brady he got way under that, obviously. And Moy has gotten 2 out. And now the defense can go back to their regular positions, and John Sorensen will look for a big 2-out knock here for El Dorado. You would think this would be rather deflating if El Dorado gets the bases loaded, no outs, and can't plate anyone. John Sorensen 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. The first pitch to Sorensen is in, ball 1. Moy certainly hasn't done it the conventional way. Fell behind 3-0 to Sheets, came back and got a strikeout. Fell behind 3-1 to Sargent, got a pop-out. 1-0 to Sorensen. And John looks at strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. And the pitch. Sorensen fouls it off, and Moy is a pitch away from getting out of an extreme mess for Oklahoma City. One ball, 2 strikes. Setting up on the outside is Vernon. The pitch comes back in, and Sorensen bounces it foul harmlessly into the Oklahoma City dugout. Still a ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch outside, 2-2. Sorensen coming into play tonight, a .292 hitter. 3 of the top 5 hitters by average coming up here with the bases loaded for El Dorado. They couldn't ask for much more. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and a swing and a miss. What a job by Moy. El Dorado scoreless, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 3 left. We go to the 8th, 7-4, Oklahoma City. Drew Wright is going to lead it off for Oklahoma City here in the top of the 8th inning. 7-4 Indians. Scored 3 in the first, and they have not trailed tonight. And Bose with a first pitch strike. The Hayes Larks have beat Great Bend 2-1, and now Hayes has won 7 in a row. And they get an off day tomorrow. And Hayes will be here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. One ball, 1 strike. Fireworks booming all around us here. The official El Dorado fireworks show will commence after this game is over here at the stadium. Here's the 2-1, and that's outside 3-1. Three balls and a strike to right, and look out, ball 4. So a leadoff walk. Drew Wright over at first. He stole a base back in the second inning. And Ryan Harrell comes up to the plate for the 5th time tonight. 2 for 4. And looks to bunt. Executed nicely. Sorensen at third will throw over to first. And a successful sacrifice. Nothing too fancy there. Just squared around and placed it towards third. Good baseball. Gary likes, that's the kind of play Gary likes right there. And I'm sure Bobby Shore has seen the Broncos threaten the last few innings. Might as well try to just get a little more insurance there. 7-4 OKC. Here's Jared Birch. He's 2 for 4 tonight. And on the move is Wright, and there was no chance for Mack. He got an outstanding jump. Bunt him to second, steal him to third, and an important insurance run over at third base for Oklahoma City. That'll force the Bronco defense to come in. 1 ball and no strikes to Birch. And the pitch, a swing and a miss. Birch stepping out of the box a little bit there and pulled out and swung and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one's flipped into the parking lot, 1-2. The 1-2, hit out to second and caught, bobbled and caught by Sheets. So the out that El Dorado needed there, a line out to second base, and with 2 away, that'll bring up Jarrett Anton. No holiday here dealing with Anton. 2 for 4 with a homer and a single. 2 runs scored and 2 runs driven in. First pitch dives a little bit low, ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Anton. And bounces to second. Sheets gets it on a big hop over to first. And Solomon able to keep his toe on the bag. And the Indians are out with nothing doing in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-4 Oklahoma City. So El Dorado coming up. You look at the last 3 innings for the Broncos. In the 5th, they scored 4 times. In the 6th, they got 2 walks, but a double play and a flyout ended any chance there. And then the first 3 reached in the 7th. Moy came in and was down 3-0 to Tanner Sheets, who might have swung at ball 4 on the 3-0 pitch, then looked at 3-2. And then on the 3-2, it was a close call, and it went against El Dorado. 2-0 to Jarrett Coyne to lead off the 8th inning. Jarrett is 1 for 2 tonight, a single and a run scored, hit into a double play in the 6th. Walked back in the 2nd inning. And a swing and a miss at the 2-0 pitch, 2-1. Coyne's walk in the 2nd was the only walk issued by Andrew Reitmeyer, who was really good tonight for Oklahoma City. He went 5. 2 balls and a strike. And low, 3-1 to Jarrett Coyne. Moy has been here before, and Coyne fouls it out of play. Mentioned it earlier, Moy hasn't really been doing it the conventional way. He's been falling behind every hitter. Normally, that's a recipe for disaster, but Moy has made it work, and here he is at 3-2 with Coyne. And Coyne hits it towards short, down to one knee is right. He's got it. Strong throw to first, and they got Jarrett Coyne. Nice play by Wright over at short. And that'll bring up Aaron Mack. Mack is 1 for 2 tonight with a walk and a single and a run scored. First pitch to Mack, and he shoots one out into right field, and it got past the right fielder in Atsugu. Aaron Mack on his way to second, and he will hold up there. A 1-out double for Aaron Mack. The way Inatsugu was tracking it, I thought he might have a chance, but that one went further over his head than I think he anticipated off the bat. So a 1-out double. And here's Pete Carvalho. Pete is 1 for 3 tonight, singled in the 5th and scored on a balk. And the first pitch is out of the zone, ball 1. One and 0 to Pete Carvalho, and he bounces one up the middle, coming up on the short hop. Nice play there made by Anton, and over to first base to retire Carvalho. He wanted to get it on that big hop, but had to go on the short hop instead and still made the play. Nicely done. So 2 away, and the Broncos, who have been really good on their winning streak, hitting with runners in scoring position, have not been good at all the last 2 nights. They look for a 2-out knock from Jordan Anstandig. He's 0 for 1 officially with 2 walks. 1 run scored, 1 RBI. And this one between the legs of Vernon, but able to knock it to where it kind of goes in front of him, and no advance for Mack, who moved over to third on that infield out. Trying to think of this is the 7th batter that Moy has faced. I don't know if he's started any of them off with strike 1. He has worked from behind, and he's living to tell about it. One 1-0 pitch to Anstandig. And that's high, 2-0. Caleb Little Jim waits on deck for El Dorado. 7-11-2 for OKC, 4-4-1 for El Dorado at this point. Here's the 2-0 and caught the corner, 2-1. It's a good 2-0 pitch. Didn't pipe one down the middle. Put it on the outer third. The 2-1 from Moy. That's outside, 3-1. Well, the Broncos can't ask for much more. Their batters have been put in good hitters counts. They've had runners in scoring position. Just looking to break through. Here's the 3-1. And fouled out of play. Even in the inning that El Dorado scored 4, once they got loaded on 3 straight singles, it was a walk, a hit batter, and a balk that scored the runs. And a sacrifice. Full count here to Anstandig. The pitch from Moy on the corner for strike 3. Anstandig thought he had a third walk of the night. Instead, he'll walk back to the dugout. No runs, a hit. 1 left. We go to the 9th. 7-4, Oklahoma City. Top of inning 9. 7-4. Oklahoma City leads. And Matt Bose has been good in his first appearance for El Dorado. And he goes high and tight to Seth Delgado for ball 1. Appreciate everyone's comments and emails and the roster getting emailed to me. Thank you for that. Couple of rosters sent to me. I appreciate it. Here's the 1-0. High, 2-0. Well, for El Dorado, they want to keep it right here and get one more crack at Moy and Oklahoma City in the 9th, down by 3. Oklahoma City wouldn't mind a little more insurance here. The 2-0 to Delgado, high, ball 3. .30 pitch, and that one's in there for strike 1. you get in these games, Broncos are struggling all of a sudden with runners in scoring position. We see a tough kind of 50-50 call against Sheets in the seventh, and then a tough one against Anstandig there in the eighth. Sometimes that's how baseball goes. Sorensen gets it on the short hop, bobbles a little bit, throws to first, and just did get Seth Delgado. One for 8 with runners in scoring position for El Dorado. 0 for 11 last night, 1 for 8 tonight. So if my math is correct, that's 1 for 19 in the last 2 nights. First pitch to Francis is out of the zone, ball 1. And again, baseball's that way. I mean, there'll be stretches where everything you do goes right, and then without any notification, it can go the other way. One ball and 1 strike as Francis hits that delivery foul. Here's the 1-1 from Bose, and that's in there for strike 2. Francis, 2 for 4 tonight. A triple, an RBI, and a run scored. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And out of the zone, 2-2. And the pitch, and this one's poked out into center field. Nice job of hitting there by Francis. And that's one of those pitches, wasn't great, but he didn't want to chance it, put it in the umpire's hand, so he kind of reached his bat out there and just poked it out into center field. Good job of hitting there by Francis. That'll bring up Mark Peterson. He's 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. And the first pitch a little bit high, ball 1. And, it's just one of those, again, weird things with baseball. We see Moy getting behind 3-0, 3-1 to about every hitter, and he has come out shining. Here's a hit and run out into center field, and that's going to drop in front of Carvalho. Going first to third is Francis, and he will make it. Staying at first is Peterson. Good throw by Carvalho. Sorensen had his glove down, waiting for the ball to hit it. Hit his glove to apply the tag, and it just skirted away. But a good backup there by Bose. First and third. AJ Inastugu up there. AJ tonight is 1 for 4. And a good cut, but he missed. 0-1. AJ from Golden West College, and just able to get out of the way of that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. AJ Inastugu, 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch, and swings over the top, 1-2. We've had a good crowd inside the park, but as is customary here on the 4th of July, now a lot of folks are out in the parking lot waiting for the big citywide fireworks show. Here's a ball hit to the pitcher, Bose. He takes a look at third. The runner was on the move, so that keeps Oklahoma City out of a double play. No advance for Francis. Runners at second and third and 2 out. And a very big hitter here for both sides. Jake Vernon coming up. He's 0 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch. A base hit could plate 2 and give OKC a 5-run lead. And out keeps it at 3 for the deficit for El Dorado. Matt Bose out of Tomball, Texas, and high and tight, 1-0. Right-handed batter, Jake Vernon. And rifles one fair down the third baseline. He's on his way to second. That ball hugs into the corner of McDonald Stadium. And a 2-out, 2 RBI double for Jake Vernon. And if the no runs with bases loaded, no out didn't dampen the spirits of Bronco fans, that one might. That makes it 9-4, Oklahoma City. And here's Drew Wright. Drew Wright goes to Oklahoma Christian University. And inside, ball one. Same two teams tomorrow night. 6 o'clock is the start. It'll be 2 7-inning games between El Dorado and Oklahoma City. The 1-0 in there for strike one. Francis and Peterson scoring on that RBI double by Jake Vernon. And the 1-1 fouled into the netting of the Indian dugout. Bose gave up a single in the 6th, a single in the 7th, a walk in the 8th, and here in the 9th, a couple of singles and a double. He's been pretty darn good for El Dorado, but the Indians have caught him here in the 9th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Drew Wright. The 2-2, high, ball 3. El Dorado will have the top of their order in the bottom of the 9th inning. But they've got more work to do. Now down 5, and Oklahoma City looking to add on even more. And down low for ball 4. And that'll give Ryan Harrell another shot. This is his 6th time coming to the plate. Singled in the 1st, singled and scored in the 1st, grounded out in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, grounded out in the 6th, and laid down a perfect sacrifice in the 8th inning. So officially 2 for 4. And an excuse me foul tip at the plate. So no balls and a strike to Ryan Harrell. The 0-1 from Bose. Low, good block by Mack. No activity in the Bronco bullpen. They'd like Bose to finish this one tonight. 1-1 pitch to